Hello everyone, my name is Winters and welcome back to this Let's Play series of Car Mechanic Simulator 2018. We are not continuing on where we left off in that I have picked up 5 orders off camera. This one and this one here are experience orders. This one back here, this one back here, and this one over here are all money bonus orders. They seem to be very quick and simple jobs based off the description, so I said why not pick them up? So I did. Well, I don't suppose there's much point in checking the phone, really, is there? Yeah. Alright. We've done it anyway. So let's take a look at this bad boy and see what we have to do. So, sloppy car steering, suspension rattling, repair all running gear faults. Okay, let's see if it can go on the test path. And that should reveal quite a few items for us. Maybe not so much with the brakes, but definitely with the suspension. Based off the description there, that's what I would imagine or expect anyway. Okay, so brakes up the front, both left and right, are about average. So what was expected there. Brakes down the back, again, both left and right, are above, well, average, not above average. Just around the average mark, I would say. Suspension is next, and front left is in really bad condition. Front right is actually average, so that's good. So now we're working on the rear suspension, and rear right is below average, and so is rear left as well. So we were able to discover quite a few parts there. So let's move it back to lifter A, and we'll get her up on the lift. Up on the first stage, and we're going to pop the hood just in case this thing has an ABS module and an ABS pump. I doubt it, but we'll check anyway because we've been surprised by some in the past, and I don't see one. No. Wow, that axle doesn't look good, does it? That axle looks really bad. Let's get her up all the way on the lift, and we'll start by taking off the tires up the front, and we'll go from there. Okay, let's do the other tire or wheel. Okay, so I can see outer tie rod here. I can see inner tie rod. I swear that axle needs to be replaced. Let's do a visual inspection on it. It does. Yep. Okay. So we're actually going stripping down the entire suspension. So let's start getting bits off. Rubber bushing, you're going to have to come out. Rubber bushing here is going to have to come out. Next we'll move on to the U-bolts. We'll get the leaf spring plate off. This steering knuckle. And then finally that knuckle. Spring can come off next, then the shock, and now we'll move over the other side and we'll work on the same here and get her all stripped down. Alright, rubber bushings. We'll probably put all new rubber bushings in across the board, even though we probably don't have to. And I would imagine we would have a lot of this stuff in stores, so we shouldn't have to purchase too much. Well, the axle we're definitely going to have to purchase, because I doubt we're going to be able to recondition that. But we'll see, you know, we could be surprised. Outer tie rod, inner tie rod, steering knuckle, spring, shock, steering rack, you can come out. And now the axle. There's something else attached to this. Oh, of course, she's 4-wheel drive. So the drive shaft has to come out. Now the axle can come out. Right, let's see what we can recondition. I don't expect there to be a lot. I would like to be wrong on that. Mind you, this isn't looking too bad. Quite a few items there we were able to save. Okay. Let's see if the axle was one of them. I doubt it. No. Alright, front drive axle 1. Or is it an L? We'll see. So parts, front drive axle. Of course, if I could spell instead of getting typos. Front drive axle. I think this is the one here, isn't it? I think that'd be the bad boy we're looking for. It was an I. It didn't make sense that it was a 1. Yeah, it's an I. There we go. Steering rack. We need to get one of those. Knuckle. Recondition one can go on there. This ring can go on. Drive shaft G. We need one of those as well. We definitely have a drum wheel cylinder. And we definitely have brakes. They're all reconditioned. And a brake drum. Do you know what? We'll put the old ones back on. Alright, let's move on to the springs. Looks like we need another spring. So this is, the whole front end is going to be shiny new for the most part. Shock absorber. Yeah, the one that came out of it can go back in. We need a steering rack. Right, I need to purchase some of this stuff. So let's get a steering rack. We'll do a search for rack. And we'll buy like 5 of them so that we have spares. Now, what else did I need? I needed a spring, didn't I? And we'll buy like 5 of those as well. I think we should be fine for U-bolts. What else do we need? Shaft, drive shaft. Damn. Drive shaft. Maybe it's not a drive shaft. Drive axle? Is it a drive axle? Drive axle. Where is the slippery little son of a bitch? Solid rear drive axle. That's not what we're looking for. Crap. Damn memory. Right, look, let's just go with what we've got so far. We were able to pick up a few items there. New inner and outer tie rods. U-bolts. Alright. Now the wheel can go back on. Lovely. Alright, shock can go back. Spring can go back. Well, it's a new spring actually. Now, second-hand outer tie rod. That can go in there. U-bolts are next for shaving. Now, we need... This is the stuff I couldn't remember. Front steering knuckle E. We do need a new one of those. Right. I wonder if we do a search for knuckle E. Knuckle E. Front steering knuckle. Where are you, little slippery son of a bitch? Oh, we need one of those as well. And we'll buy 3 so that we have 2 spare. There's the one I want. Buy 3 as well, so we have 2 spares. Not something that we come across very often, but it doesn't hurt to have a small number of spare parts in stores. Second-hand outer tie rod can go back in. Now, this knuckle ring. Lovely. Wheel hub 4. Front drive axle G. Right, I need to remember that. Let's get the rubber bushings back in. Drum wheel cylinder. Brakes, yeah, you can go on next. Front drive axle G. So, drive axle G. Front drive axle G. There we go. And we'll buy 3 of them. Now, brake. I think we need some brake drums. So we're going to buy 5 of those. We're alright for shoes. I think we're alright for pads as well. So that drive axle G isn't something that we need very often. Second-hand drum can go on here. Then the wheel can go back on. Lovely. I just realized we actually didn't mark off any of this stuff. Suspension rattling, rear shock absorber B, repair all running gear faults. We have identified most of it. Good stuff. Right, now we're moving down the back. So let's start by taking off the wheels, and we'll get a gander then how the rest of it is looking. Those shocks need to be replaced. They're in terrible condition. The axle needs to be replaced as well. Wow, so we're stripping this down to the maker's name. So let's start stripping. Again, we'll probably put all new rubber bushings in, because it's just easier. And rubber bushings aren't all that expensive. Alright, and the spring. Now the knuckle housing. And let's get that drive shaft out, since we have to completely redo the axle. And now we'll move on to the other side. Alright, let's get this rubber bushing out. Moving on to the brake drum, followed by the shoes, followed by the cylinder, followed by the axle, drive axle, followed by the wheel hub, followed by another rubber bushing, followed by the spring, followed by the knuckle housing, followed by the axle itself. And now we're going to see what we can recondition from here, which hopefully is a fair amount of stuff. Which is, yeah, it's not bad. It's above average. Right, now let's see if the axle was one of those, because I wasn't paying attention. It wasn't. So leaf spring, rear drive axle. Alright, if I do a search for spring, that should bring it up. Leaf spring, rear drive axle, there we go. So we'll start off by getting that in, and we'll put the knuckle housing on, and wheel hub, followed by solid rear drive axle, followed by the cylinder, followed by the shoes, followed by the brake drum. Do we have a second-hand one? We do. So we'll do that. Next we'll get the spring in. Leaf plate, followed by U-bolts. Starting to run low on U-bolts. We have enough though to finish this job. Do I have a shock absorber? I do. Right. Now we'll get the other rubber bushing in. Right, that is that side complete, so let's put the wheel back on. And do you know what, we can put that drive shaft back in actually now as well. Right, moving on to the other side. Another knuckle, let's get the wheel hub on. Let's get the spring in. Leaf plate, followed by U-bolts. And the second U-bolt. Shock absorber B, right, I need to remember that. Shock absorber B. Let's get the cylinder in, followed by the solid rear drive axle. followed by the shoes. Let's get that rubber bushing in before we put the brake drum on. And brake drum. Oh, wait. We have a second-hand one of those. We'll put that on instead. There we go. Right, wheel can go back on now, and I just need to get rear shock absorber B, wasn't it? I'll just check that real quick. Rear shock absorber B, it was indeed. Okay, so if I do a search for shock, rear shock absorber B, and I'll buy like 5 of them. That'll leave 4 spares. Where are we? We're over here. Okay. Get the shock in. Now we'll take a gander. All done there. All done there. And all done there. Excellent. Alright, so the job is done. So we'll drop her down now. And we'll close the hood. And we'll do one last inspection. Yep, and yep. Okay, so we spent 3,700 on parts and we're getting 8,900 back in payout. Not bad going at all. So, ooh, car is incomplete. Front drive shaft is missing. Son of a... Urgh. Every time. I wouldn't mind. I actually thought of that when we were working on the back there, but I didn't say anything about it. I probably should have. Right. Yeah, I think we're good now. I think we're good. So we'll try this one more time. See if we can finish the job now. Yay! Way to go. Right. Let's move this bad boy into lifter A. Ahead of the next episode. We'll move this one into lifter B, and we'll move this one into lifter C. And now we'll go and check the phone and we'll see if there are any experience orders available, which there aren't. And how are we doing on time? 17.5 minutes. Right. That's as good a spot as any to wrap up the episode. So thanks a million for watching, folks. I hope you all enjoyed it. If you did, please like, comment, and subscribe. Do all that good stuff. My name is Winters, and I'll see you next time. So until then, take care.